There's a liquid that costs less than $1 and dissolves any drain clog permanently. Not for a week. Not until the next heavy rain. Permanently. One treatment poured down any blocked pipe and the clog never returns. Roman engineers used it in the sewer systems beneath the Colosseum. Medieval monastery brewers poured it down stone drainage channels every autumn without fail. Farmers across 3 continents relied on it to keep irrigation pipes flowing through decades of heavy use. It eats through grease, hair, soap scum, mineral buildup, and organic matter at the molecular level in under 2 hours. No snake, no auger, no toxic chemicals, no professional equipment. Less than $1 worth of powder dissolved in boiling water, poured slowly and deliberately down your drain. Then, someone at a corporation ran a spreadsheet. The American plumbing services industry generates over $70 billion a year in revenue. Drain cleaning alone accounts for over $12 billion of that total. Clogged drains are not a problem that plumbers want solved. They are a revenue stream that plumbers need to preserve. A $1 permanent solution is not an innovation, it is a threat. They did not stop using it because it failed. They stopped talking about it because it worked too well. This is the story of enzyme-based biological drain treatment, the clog killer that civilizations trusted and the plumbing industry quietly erased. Welcome to Fixvival. If this knowledge matters to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure it survives. Here, we open the vaults, the industry locked shut. Now let me take you back to where this all begins. The year is approximately 300 BC, and Roman engineers are facing a problem that no empire had ever attempted to solve at scale before. The city of Rome is growing faster than any urban center in human history. At its peak, over 1 million people live within the city walls. 1 million people eating, washing, discarding food waste, and producing organic matter every single day. Without a functional drainage system, Rome would drown in its own waste within months. So the Romans built the Cloaca Maxima, the Great Drain, one of the most ambitious engineering projects in the ancient world. Massive stone channels running beneath the city, carrying waste down to the Tiber River. But here is what the history books leave out. The Romans had a persistent problem that their stone engineering alone could not solve. Grease from butchers in the Forum Boreum. Organic matter from public baths, sediment from tanners and dye workers clinging to the channel walls. Roman maintenance crews documented the solution. Workers poured concentrated fermented organic matter, specifically liquid runoff from wine and olive pressing, into the channels. This liquid was rich in naturally occurring enzymes and organic acids that broke down grease and biological matter clinging to the stone surfaces. Fast forward 6 centuries. The year is 700 AD, and Benedictine monks in northern Italy are managing sophisticated water systems in medieval Europe. The great monasteries were economic powerhouses. They ran breweries, bakeries, and tanneries, all of which produced enormous quantities of organic waste. They poured spent mash from the brewery, mixed with warm water, directly into the drainage channels. They understood instinctively it kept the pipes clear. Now go further east, to the agricultural plains of China during the Song dynasty, approximately 1000 AD. Farmers in Fujian province developed a practice of pouring diluted, fermented soybean liquid, rich in protease and lipase enzymes, into irrigation channels. 3 civilizations, 3 continents, 3 independent observations, arriving at the same fundamental solution. That is convergent biology observed across 1,000 years. Fast forward to 1833, and a French chemist named Anselme Payen discovers the first enzyme ever identified by science. He names it diastase. By 1897, German chemist Eduard Buchner proves that enzymes are chemical catalysts produced by living organisms. He wins the Nobel Prize in 1907. Enzymes like proteases, lipases, and amylases were responsible for every clog-clearing technique that ancient civilizations had stumbled onto by observation. By the early 1900s, the science was clear enough that a commercial product could have been built around it. It was not. Let me explain exactly why this works, because the science is elegant in its simplicity. A drain clog is almost never a single material. It is a layered biological and chemical matrix. At its core, you have a protein scaffold. Hair, food particles, skin cells. Around that scaffold, grease and fatty acids from cooking and soap residue bind and solidify, cementing the protein core to the pipe wall. Over that grease layer, mineral deposits from hard water, calcium and magnesium carbonate build up and harden the structure further. And across the entire surface, a biofilm of bacteria, mold, and organic slime develops, adding mass and adhesion with every passing day. A chemical drain cleaner like sodium hydroxide, which is the active ingredient in most commercial drain products, attacks this matrix with brute force. It generates heat and breaks down some of the protein and fat components through a process called saponification, converting grease into a soapy substance. But it cannot fully dissolve the mineral scale. It leaves biofilm residue. And critically, it attacks the pipe itself. Sodium hydroxide dissolves PVC glue joints over time. It corrodes metal pipes, it attacks the rubber seals in older plumbing systems, and it kills every beneficial organism in your septic system. destabilizing the entire biological digestion process your system depends on. Enzyme treatment works completely differently. Proteases identify and break the peptide bonds that hold protein molecules together, reducing hair and food particles to amino acid fragments small enough to flush freely through any pipe. Lipases target the ester bonds in fat molecules, converting hardened grease deposits back into their component fatty acids and glycerol. Amylases break starch chains into simple sugars. Cellulases dismantle plant fiber, and the enzymes do not stop at the visible clog. They continue working downstream, clearing residue throughout the pipe system, addressing buildup that a plumber's snake cannot even reach. The enzyme treatment does not damage pipes because enzymes are biological molecules. They are the same compounds your own digestive system uses. They are not corrosive. They do not generate heat. They do not react with metal, PVC, rubber, or any pipe material in existence. And here's the most important distinction. A chemical drain cleaner creates a temporary opening through the center of a clog, like punching a hole through a wall without removing the wall. The clog is still there, just partially dissolved, ready to reform within weeks. An enzyme treatment digests the entire clog matrix from the molecular level up. It does not create a hole. It eliminates the structure. There is nothing left to reform. Choosing enzymes is the smarter, safer way to maintain your home's plumbing. Now here is where the story takes the turn that should make every homeowner furious. By 1940, enzyme chemistry was well-established science. Pharmaceutical companies were using enzyme extracts in medical applications. Food manufacturers were using enzyme treatments in industrial processing. Agricultural researchers were studying enzyme-enhanced soil treatments. The knowledge existed. The industrial production capacity existed. A commercial enzyme drain treatment could have been on hardware store shelves by 1945. It was not. And the reason is not complicated. The Drano company had been selling sodium hydroxide drain cleaner since 1923. By 1940, they had 17 years of brand recognition, national distribution networks, and a retail model built on one fundamental principle. Sodium hydroxide drain cleaners work partially and temporarily. They create the illusion of solving the problem while guaranteeing the problem returns. The average American household experiences 2 to 4 drain clogs per year requiring treatment. At an average retail price of $8 to $12 per bottle, that is a recurring revenue stream of $16 to $48 per household. Now consider the plumbing service industry. The average professional drain cleaning service call costs between $150 and $400. Multiply 100 million households by even one service call per 4 years, and you understand the economic architecture a $1 solution threatens. A biological enzyme treatment costs approximately $1 per monthly maintenance dose. $1 per month prevents the clog from ever forming. That is not a market opportunity. That is market elimination. The chemical drain cleaner industry generates over $500 million annually. The professional drain cleaning service sector adds billions more. So the industry did not fund research into enzyme drain treatments. Trade publications did not run features on biological drain maintenance. Hardware store shelf space, negotiated by manufacturers who pay slotting fees, remained dominated by the chemical products. They were simply never given the shelf space, the advertising budget, or the retail distribution that the chemical alternatives commanded. They existed quietly in the background, purchased primarily by people who already knew about them. And most people never found out they existed at all. But here is what the industry could not fully erase. The science kept advancing, regardless of commercial incentive. In 2003, a research team at the University of Georgia published a study in the journal Bioresource Technology, demonstrating that enzyme-producing bacterial strains applied to kitchen drain biofilms reduced grease accumulation by over 85% within 30 days. Not 85% of the visible clog, 85% of all accumulated material, including the biofilm lining the pipe walls. The study concluded that biological enzyme treatment was demonstrably superior to chemical intervention for long-term drain hygiene maintenance. It was cited in academic literature. It was not cited in a single commercial product campaign. In 2011, the city of Osaka, Japan, implemented a citywide enzyme-based maintenance program for municipal drainage lines. The program replaced chemical flushing with biological enzyme treatments applied monthly in restaurant and food service districts. After 3 years, emergency drain blockage calls in the treated districts dropped by 67%. The program cost the city approximately 40% less than the chemical treatment protocol it replaced. Osaka published the results. American municipal water authorities did not adopt the program. In 2018, a DIY community on a major online forum documented over 400 homeowners who had switched to monthly enzyme drain maintenance. Using bulk bacterial enzyme powder purchased from agricultural supply companies for approximately $12 per kilogram. Thread members reported that after 6 months of consistent treatment, drain issues in their homes had essentially stopped entirely. 0 service calls, 0 chemical drain cleaner purchases, $12 of enzyme powder lasting an entire year. Agricultural supply companies sell enzyme powder because farmers use it in livestock waste management and compost acceleration. The same product that a farmer uses to break down waste lagoon buildup dissolves your kitchen drain clog permanently. It is sold by the kilogram for less than the cost of a single bottle of Drano, and almost no homeowner knows it exists. Here is exactly what to do, and it is almost insultingly simple. Go to any agricultural supply store, health food retailer, or online bulk supplier and purchase a bacterial enzyme powder or liquid concentrate. Look for products labeled as septic treatment, biological drain maintainer, or enzyme drain cleaner. The active ingredients should list protease, lipase, amylase, and cellulase producing bacterial cultures. A 1 kilogram container costs between $10 and $15 and contains enough material for 12 to 18 months of whole house maintenance. For an existing clog, here is the treatment protocol. Boil 1 liter of water and allow it to cool to approximately 50 degrees Celsius. Water that is too hot will kill the bacterial cultures. Mix 2 tablespoons of the enzyme powder into the warm water and stir until fully dissolved. Pour the mixture slowly down the blocked drain. Slow is important. You want the enzyme solution to saturate the clog material. Do not run any water down that drain for a minimum of 8 hours. Overnight is ideal. The enzymes need time to work through the clog matrix without being flushed away. For most standard household clogs, grease buildup, hair accumulation, soap scum, 1 overnight treatment is sufficient. For severe long-term buildup, repeat the treatment for 3 consecutive nights. By the morning of day 4, the drain will run clear. For ongoing maintenance, which is the most important part, use 1 tablespoon of enzyme powder dissolved in half a liter of warm water. Pour it down each drain in your house once per month. Do this last thing at night before bed. Let it sit undisturbed. That single monthly habit eliminates the conditions under which clogs form. The grease never accumulates. The hair never anchors. Total cost of whole house maintenance for 1 full year is approximately $10 to $15. Compare that to the average household spending on chemical drain cleaners, which runs $40 to $80 per year. Plus, service calls that average $150 to $400 per incident. A homeowner in Portland, Oregon documented her transition to enzyme maintenance in 2021. Her kitchen drain had required professional snaking twice in 3 years at a combined cost of over $600. After 12 months of monthly enzyme treatment costing a total of $11, she has had 0 drain issues. 0. Her bathroom drains, previously slow, now run completely clear without any additional intervention. The enzyme treatment she pours down the kitchen drain each month migrates through the pipe system, addressing buildup throughout. 1 treatment, 1 drain, whole house benefit. Think about what a clogged drain actually represents in the modern economy. It represents a homeowner who has been systematically kept dependent on a chemical product. It represents an industry that profits from that incomplete solution recurring endlessly. A clog is not a plumbing failure. It is an economic mechanism. It is a design dependency, maintained by the absence of information. The Romans did not have drain cleaning companies. They had the Cloaca Maxima. They used fermented organic chemistry and a practical understanding that biological solutions maintain systems better than any amount of manual intervention. The medieval monks did not call for help when their drainage channels backed up. They poured the spent brewery mash and went back to their work. Enzymes do not fail. Biology does not take weekends off. Enzymatic hydrolysis has been breaking down organic matter for hundreds of millions of years. No patent, no trademark, no subscription. The knowledge has always been available. The raw materials have always been accessible. The science is not in dispute. What changed is the commercial incentive to make sure you never found it. But chemistry does not negotiate with marketing budgets. Enzymes do not respect slotting fees. Biology does not observe corporate quarterly earnings cycles. And the information, once it surfaces, cannot be unpublished. If this vault changed how you think about your home, then subscribe and share this now. Every share helps someone avoid a costly, unnecessary bill. The next vault opens soon. It reveals one thing every homeowner throws away that could eliminate their biggest energy bill. Stay with us.